This is the 12th Conference on National Scenic and Historic Trails in Missoula, Montana.
Director of Trail Management Operations for the Continental Divide Trail Alliance, and I'm based out of Pine, Colorado. And myself and a whole slew of other people in a youth participation committee that formed in February at one of our Hike the Hill weeks in DC, where the partnership, we all get together and go to Washington, DC and lobby on the Hill with all of our partners together with all the different agencies and all of our congressional delegations. There had been some buzz about bringing young people like yourselves to the conference, and we sort of formulated that plan there. Jonathan Stevens with the U.S. Forest Service, who's the program manager for Wilderness Recreation, Heritage, Congressionally designated areas, program manager. He could not be here today due to family illness, but he and Christopher Dallas from the Federal Highway Administration, Steve Elkington from the National Park Service, who's the lead for National Trail System and the National Park Service, Nathan Caldwell from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and Jeff Jarvis and Deb Salt from the Bureau of Land Management decided that this was a worthy enough cause to bring all of these folks together. They basically put together about $40,000 worth of federal funds to bring all of you here. And as part of that, Jonathan and I spearheaded a committee with Gary Warner and Steve Elkington, and then we added some additional people, Stephanie Friday from the Continental Divide Trail Alliance, Julia Glad, who just stepped out somewhere, there she is, who came on board with the partnership just about 3 months ago, and then Abigail Adams from the Forest Service as well, and a few other people that aren't here, Julie Judkins from the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, Tim Sammartino from the Pacific Crest Trail Association, and a whole slew of guest speakers here and there. We pulled together a committee to bring all of you here and develop a program that would only just bring you here to this conference, but would bring you here and pair you up with some of us old hats, pretty hats, good-looking hats, but old hats nonetheless, to pair you up with some of us to sort of help you get through this process of coming to a conference and not really knowing for some of you what goes on in a national trail system, which includes scenic and historic trails that cross across our country and intersect and interconnect, but also to help you just sort of get through this process and potentially have a lifelong career through the connections that you make while here. And I know we have a very broad spectrum of folks. We have some folks that have never done anything like this before in their lives, and we have some other folks who've been in the field and worked for several seasons and are well-seasoned trail technicians and are employed by some of the organizations already. So it's a whole spectrum, and we think from each other that as peers, you guys can form a network and your own council and committee that will help you become a voice in the national trail system, and in particular in the partnership, where every trail has a representative that is a unit of the national trail system on the board or in the leadership council, and now we need your voice there. Because one thing you'll notice in your conference experience is that you guys are really, how do I put that politically correct, young. And you're not that young, but there's a generation that, there's a little bit of a generation gap, and we really see the future of the National Trail System. It's an incredible legacy that started in 1968 with the passage of the Congressional Act that created things like the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail and the Oregon-California National Historic Trail. And that generation of trail leaders are now looking to you to help pass on this legacy of trail protection, trail creation, trail management, help promote these trails, not just with your peers, but your peers' peers and your friends, and someday your children and your grandchildren. Because right now we're in that place where we're in the passing of the torch. And we felt it was really important to bring you here to provide you the skill and the background and the tools you're going to need to take this torch from us and to start carrying it for yourselves and making these trail systems your own. And so we're really thrilled that you're here. We have a little bit of time today to sort of work with you all to get to know some of your mentors are here. Some of them are still coming in and out. Some of them are still in the meeting with the PNTS Leadership Council, so they'll be filtering in. So this will really be an opportunity for us to sort of, as a group, sort of open the lines of communication, learn a lot about what's expected over the week. And we have a lot of great opportunities and activities scheduled for you. Yeah, we're going to be real flexible here. One thing to learn about being in this field is you just sort of stay real flexible. You just keep going with it. You just go. All right, guys, welcome.
Everyone who came so far away. I know some of you got in really late or early this morning, and so wow, kudos to you for still being awake at this point. But what we thought we would do for the mentors who are here is for the mentors to find their mentee. And if you aren't sure who that is, we do have lovely lists over here, so you can make sure that you pair with the right person. And I know some of you, your mentors are still next door, so we'll double up, and we're going to split up and come around as well. But we want to take about 20 minutes or so for you just to talk with your mentor, talk about kind of your past, who you are, where you're from, what your interest is in trails, natural resource professions, et cetera, and then talk to them, find out things about, what they wish they had known at your age, or advice that they can give you, or how they kind of got to where they are. Because Teresa really hit it on the head when she said that there is a new opportunity for you guys, the next generation, to come and move into these agencies, these organizations. And Forest Service, where I work, probably the mean age is 40, 45. So they definitely, there's going to be a whole wave of folks retiring, and we really need new, creative, innovative, passionate folks coming in. So this is your opportunity to talk to them, kind of pick their brains. And after we do that for about 20 minutes, then we're going to do a 30-minute, everyone, the group kind of comes back together, and we'll have your mentor introduce you, and then the mentee will introduce their mentor. And again, if you don't have your mentor here, we'll carry you off, and we'll just do a quick kind of introduction so everyone knows who all is in the room, where you come from, what trails you're associated with, etc. So, mentors, go ahead and try to find your mentee.
Actually, I'm going to do time. I think there's only like 6 mentors here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wait, so because they're all getting stuck in the other meeting. You can't grab them. I think we should go grab them.
There was a little discussion about that. I don't think you'll be successful.
Oh, really?
See, this is why we need you guys here. There's a. We could do table. So let's just do table discussion.
Okay. All right. Well, then 20 minutes with your table. We're going to come around. Mentors, please filter into the tables and get some good discussions going about all the topics.
And that I like not having to go through all the bureaucratic processes that the agency folks often do. We have a little more liberty being a nonprofit. And
I did 2 summers of trail crew, a mini glacier, and did some volunteer backcountry ranger stuff, and then went off to college at Parsons for grad school. So I haven't been back to the West for a long period of time, for about 7 years. So I'm looking forward to coming back here and just
I have the same bracelet, but it fell out after 2 years. I saved it. I have it in
and then we also
replacements. I think less in engineering.
We had initially had planned to have all your mentors in here. They're still in their meeting till 5. I imagine by the time they trickle into here, it'll be a little bit later than that. So what I'd like to do is actually, now that you've had some time to meet each other, and some of our mentors are here, and some of the other folks that aren't mentors but are in here kindly enough, like Kevin Healer. We love having you here. We're so glad you're here. And Michelle Miller, we're so thrilled that they're here. So what we'd like to do now is sort of take the time to kind of go through some of the more housekeeping sort of what you can expect for the next 4 or 5 days, so you guys have an idea of what we're expecting of you, and we can hear maybe a little bit about what you're expecting from us. And so that'll give us all a good sort of idea of what's going to happen over the next 24, well actually whatever, 5 days. So first of all, today, we hope that by the time everyone comes over here, you guys will have a chance to have some one-on-one time with your mentor. Probably what we'll do is do introductions then, so everyone gets to meet everyone officially instead of just at your small tables, and then we'll have you guys kind of go wherever you want to go and have some just one-on-one time with your mentors. For dinner tonight, the buses are leaving now at 6:30, so we'll have a little bit more time so you don't have to feel rushed about getting into the buses. But what about the rest of the time? Tomorrow, for the youth folks that are here, we have this big day planned for you at Travelers Rest. And actually it's planned for all of us, and it's going to be the opening session and plenary for the conference. Part of that includes when we bring, we would like to have all of you youth scholars be the focus of tomorrow's activities. So when we all arrive there, I'm going to ask the youth scholars to meet me just before the meeting starts, and we are going to have you guys sort of parade in with signs representing each of the trails, the 30, Steve? 30 trails, which is great because we have 30, actually we have 31, 2, 3 youth here. So having all of you sort of walk in, and we'll be able to have you represent the trails that exist in our country, but also have an opportunity to show you off. So that'll be nice. And then the rest of the day, we have the plenary opening session. We'll have some presentation from the communities that are around. I think the mayor of Missoula will be there. And then at 10:30, we're moving into the best part of the day, which is the service project. And we have folks from the Montana Conservation Corps, 3 crew leaders from there, coming out to lead one of the service projects, as well as there's 2 additional projects. There's going to be some working with the Salish community along the river, building, I think, shelter, and then some restoration work. And then the big project will be a large restoration project to reclaim an old road that was a long time ago sort of an informal trail, or a trail, and now it's been relocated, and we're going to reclaim that section. So be prepared to get dirty tomorrow. And then in the afternoon, after that, you'll have a box lunch included in that session tomorrow. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to get together again with just the youth, unless mentors would like to join us, and have an opportunity to check in with all of you and see how it's going. And then we'll have a little bit more free time, and dinner will start there at Travelers Rest, and then we'll all be bused back here Sunday evening. Monday and Tuesday are the actual official days of the conference, and this sort of gets into the expectation piece of what we're expecting of all of you. Our expectation of you is that we are giving you an opportunity to take in as much as you can take in. That's our expectation, to sort of come in and learn, look, observe, listen, think, and take in all this information that you're going to get over the next 3 days, and then let us know how that affects you, whether it's relevant to you or what it would need to be relevant to you, how you think you might be able to impact change in this whole thing that we're doing, how it makes you feel, things we've done well, things we've not done well, things you see in the partnership that maybe we could change to keep more young people like yourselves involved. Having all those things sort of in the back of your head as you go through the actual physical conference days, which are Monday and Tuesday here in the hotel, where there's a lot of sessions going on, from how to protect a trail resource, how to get youth engaged out on these trail volunteer projects, and how to learn how to form an organization that's going to help be a part of a partner with an agency in one of these trails. All the different components that sort of help protect or provide for the capacity and outreach and the protection of these trail resources. And I should tell you too, one of the reasons this project actually happened, having all of you here, is that in 2018, which seems like a really long time from now.
The 12th Conference on National Scenic and Historic Trails is brought to you by the Bureau of Land Management, the National Park Service, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the National Forest Service.